Hello and welcome back, guys and girls. Today we're back in the wood yard here, and I'm looking for some more wood. It's getting harder and harder to find anything that would be ready to burn this year. I have taken over 10 cords of wood out of this place myself, and I'm not the only one using the wood. Guys from the tree service use it. But anyways, this photo right here is a good illustration of what I was talking about a video or two ago about when they had a bulldozer come in and pile up all of these rounds in a pile and just push it all and move it. If you look at the bottom left corner of the screen, you can see all of that dirt and sawdust and debris and bark and everything. There's about 2 rounds deep underneath that stuff of wood on the ground underneath all of that. And of course everything piled on top. So right now I'm just kind of working on a big maple log, and I'm going to cut a couple rounds off of it and just kind of check the moisture on the inside and look at that. It's getting tough to find anything, guys. There's a bunch of hickory. There's a whole large hickory tree underneath, right where I'm standing, underneath that whole pile. But it's so heavy and the rounds are so large, they cut them into like cookies. So the rounds are only like 8 inches tall, and then so when you take it home and you cut it up, you end up with all these little 8-inch blocks of hickory, and it's just like, it's hard to get it, it's hard to cut it and make it into to make like decent sized firewood out of, which I hate. It's great wood for your smoker or a solo stove or something. If you want to just cut it in blocks and throw it in a smoker or something, it'd be good. But or you could noodle it down, and you could take those rounds and noodle it like you probably have already seen in my previous video about pancake noodles, slab wood. But that's just a lot of labor. I mean, that's sitting there burning tanks of gas through your chainsaw, hard on your chains and everything else to get 3 or 4 pieces of firewood. So I hate that hickory is cut like that, but it is. And anyways, I'm kind of rambling on, so I'm just going to go around and do some Woodyard logging today, and I'll let y'all check it out. And I also have a trailer update coming your way. I also want to mention right now that the chain on this saw is about toast, and it is dull. I hit something with it the last time I was here, and I haven't had time to sharpen it yet. So instead of taking 15 or 20 minutes and doing that right now while I'm out trying to use it, I just get the work done that I need to get done. So if you notice that it's kind of throwing dust, that's why. And I'd like to cut that big round and at the top right there, that huge round laying on a diagonal, but I'm going to need a bigger saw and a sharp chain to cut that. That is a big swollen trunk piece of a maple tree. And that would be some work for my little MS-180, but that's a good piece of wood right there. It's just huge. The majority of the stuff that's left in here, guys, is like that. I mean, if you just take a quick look around, they're all crotches and large wood, just stuff that nobody wants to mess with. And that's why I bought the 30-ton splitter, because I can split that stuff. As long as it'll fit in a splitter, it'll go through it. So I can find things to do, but it's all tough stuff. It's just a bunch of crotches laying all over the place. Now here I threw a little pile of stuff near my truck where I'm loading that needs to be cut with a chainsaw, just some longer pieces, and I like to go ahead and get that stuff done now while I'm out, and I got the saw out and everything, and because then if you bring it home you just got to deal with it later. So most of the time I go ahead and cut this stuff, clean it up into firewood sized pieces now while I'm loading it, unless I run out of gas or something happens. But here we go with that. I have 3 brand new chains for that chainsaw sitting at home, so I'm about to just put a new one on. It's really on my nerves today. Every time I make a cut, I'm like, oh my God, I want to sharpen this thing. But to sharpen a chain and sit down and do that, it takes 20 minutes to go all around and file that thing by hand. And I just don't want to take the time to do it. It's already, I'm out here to load that truck and that trailer and to go around and hunt everything up and move it and then cut it all like I'm doing. I mean, it's several hours of work to do the truck and trailer. and sitting there and sharpening saws and doing all that extra work just adds time and takes time out of the day. So I just kind of forced my way through it right here, but it's on my nerves even watching myself, but I'm gonna put a new chain on like really soon. Okay, this round here is a big piece of oak, and if you look at the bottom of it, you can see how it has all that black dirt and stuff on it. That's just sawdust and crap that when it rains, I guess, and everything, it all kind of just settles in underneath there, and little bugs and worms and slugs and things get all underneath it. That's what happens when you lay wood flat on the ground on the ends like that and it's not turned over on its side. But it's also the time of year where it's getting cold at night. It was like 23 degrees this morning that I'm out here. It was 23, 25 degrees overnight, and it was only a high of like 33. So they're frozen to the ground too. You can sit there and just yank on those things and pull your back out, hurt your arms, everything else trying to get them off the ground. They're frozen to the ground. Now I got lucky with this one and I was able to peel it up. But you would really need some type of pry bar or something if it's going to be frozen like that. Even when it's not frozen, that dirt is sticky. But yeah, I think that's an oak round, and the wood inside is actually pretty solid. It's just not completely dry yet because it was sitting flat on the ground like that, and it's harder for the moisture to come out of the ends of the rounds when it's sitting on the ground like that, and water and dirt and everything gets underneath it. So I just checked it out. It's good wood, but really those need more time to dry. This is what I call RTB. That's ready to burn. There's a lot of RTB pieces in this wood yard. You just got to find them. It's kind of like a little bonus. That's some good hard wood. Now, an update on the trailer. This is what a typical load looks like when I'm pulling out of here. This is my truck underneath my tonneau lid, and I kind of like having that tonneau lid. It's impossible to break a back window, and it keeps the wood dry when you have to do deliveries or whatever. Here's the trailer. That's the side that was rubbing last time, and I got it trimmed. There's still almost 2 inches of space there, totally fine. Underneath it, where the leaf springs are, there's plenty of room there for the frame and everything. Now this side is a little bit closer today. There's about 3/4 of an inch, so no problems, but I am going to go ahead and trim that down some more when I get a chance. Okay, just checking in. The trailer is working great, and I have been hoarding some wood again. Hopefully you can see me. I'm just holding this phone. But let me show you. I got several loads in the trailer. Just some, I'm not going to name everything. Got some birch and maple. And all kinds, there's ash and maple. There's all kinds of wood there. And then this is starting to be some of the heavy stuff because the splitter will sit right here. So I tried to stack things that I didn't want to lift again right there by the splitter. Pretty good couple of piles there. And we're supposed to get rain tonight. So I Got the cover on all my split stuff to keep that dry. And this is the other side of all my heavies. I mean, there's some big puppies in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with some of this stuff. Like that piece right there, pretty sure that's a big piece of ash. And I know the sun's got it all washed out. But you can see, I mean, it's just funky. It's got a chainsaw cut halfway through it there. It's a good piece of wood. It's all solid, but I mean, it's a crotch with a chainsaw cut through it and all this weird stuff. So anyways, I don't know how I'm gonna clean that up. I might just run it through the splitter and see, but it's about 24, 25 inches long on one side. It's gotta be, anyways, mess. And just some more ash, elm, all kinds of stuff in there. These are all heavy things that I don't wanna lift again. And moving on down, I went ahead and I bit the bullet and I started bringing home some of this pine in here. And I'm just gonna offer a sale price. There's so much pine, it's in the way, and I can just offer a really cheap price for like campfire, bonfire, fire pit wood. So I'm thinking this is gonna be like $70 for a load of pine. And I got quite a few rounds, several truckloads full of that. So if anybody wants a deal on some cheap wood, these rounds, it's just so easy to grab and pick them up and load the truck. You can load the truck in 45 minutes, just boom, 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 boom. So I did that. And behind the pine, I mean, there's all kinds of, this is all hardwood back here. And that's about it for this video, guys. I tried to get way ahead on all my rounds, so I got plenty of wood split before the winter weather really hits and gets bad. I don't want to get stuck with a snowstorm and a bunch of ice and frozen wood and everything. Have a good day.
You